say from Coach B, or from Coach, and then we'll take some questions after that.
Yeah, just really appreciate you guys. It means a lot for you guys to come out. You know, I'm not where we want to be yet. We're not supposed to be there yet. It's early in November, but I really enjoy coaching this group of young ladies. They work really hard. I'll say I'm sure somebody wants to know what happened at Vermont. That was a tough game. I think that was not the team that I've been coaching all summer and fall, and that one stung pretty deep. But we know one game does not define us, and it's how we responded. And I thought, you know, the girls did a nice job tonight, still trying to figure out rotations, lineups, you know, looking at a lot of different things. I think one of our strengths is our depth, but how do we utilize that in a way that's going to be best advantageous for our team? And so we're still figuring some things out. I think our team's still getting used to playing with each other in different rotations. I thought we did a good job defensively in regards to on the boards, and you know, a lot of positives on the defensive end, but fouled way too much at the end of drives. That's been a point of emphasis for us. And then obviously ball security is something that is going to keep me up at night over the last week, and will continue to do so until we get that figured out.
Coach, what were some of the major differences you saw from Vermont to tonight?
Yeah, I tell you what, I can't even act like I know what happened at Vermont, because that is not the team that we've seen all summer long and in the fall. And you know, I want to give credit to Vermont. They've got a great history there, a really solid program, a pretty tough place to play. You know, we got to the free throw line a lot, so that was a really good thing for us, because that's something that we've really emphasized in the off season. But it was just a really strange game. We had 7 offensive fouls, and just really came out of the gates pretty strong, but we just couldn't get into a rhythm after that. You know, it's a team that played a lot of gap defense and made it challenging on us. You know, I remember it seems like there's one game a year that can really clog up the paint on us and makes our movement be a little off, and we hadn't faced that much. We should have done a better job as coaches. Sometimes it's hard that first game. You don't know for sure how teams are going to game plan for you, but we're so used to trying to be much more aggressive defensively ourselves that playing against a team that's more of a gap team threw our timing off a little bit. And then we didn't take care of the ball, but again, one game doesn't define us. I thought tonight our ability to kind of rebound and refocus was good, but we got to keep getting better. Every day matters. We got to stack good days. We got a really tough team in Norfolk State coming in this weekend. It's going to be a handful. So we'll come back, watch film. We lose, we learn. We win, we learn. Early in the season, one game's not going to define us.
Robin, what do you feel like you specifically learned about this team? You know, from Vermont to the response you had tonight to Vermont, what did you learn that maybe you didn't already know?
I feel really blessed to go to work every day and coach them. I like the way they came back and showed up for practice on Wednesday. Tuesday we had some travel issues, so we didn't get back until Tuesday. And then Wednesday I liked the way they showed up. It was hard. You know, we're down a little bit, but, you know, we just said we got to buck up, put our shoulders back and own it, and understand you know, it's the process, right? It's one day at a time, and we've got to own what we need to own and continue to grow and get better. But, you know, what I like about this team is their work ethic. I think it's uncommon. I think they're trying to figure out how to come together. You've got a lot of new players. You got some returners that have been together for a minute. And we're trying to figure out how do we really come together and battle for each other and with each other. And I told them it's normal not to have that figured out yet. You know, it's early November. If it was that easy, every team in the country would do it. But I know their heart postures, and I know where they want to get to, and I know they all understand for us to get done what we want to get done this year. That chemistry is going to be really, really important, so to be intentional about it. But I think we're rebounding well. I think we shared the ball well tonight. I saw some really unselfish plays offensively. Defensively was solid. I think just the fouling at the end of the drives is the big thing for me, and taking care of the ball.
Coach, from a comes to the turnovers, kind of just mentioned it there, is that some early season stuff, or are you seeing some fundamentals in there that?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think it's early season. I think it's players getting used to playing with each other. And I think there's a lack of discipline in there that us as coaches have got to do a better job making sure we're demanding just the importance of fundamentals, ball security, not being loose with it, not taking possessions off.
Coach, Laniah's 12 points, all of them came in the paint. She also had 10 rebounds and class plus minus on the team with 20. What do you like about her impact, not just in general, but especially on the interior?
Well, I think she's got a chance to be a really explosive player for us. I think she can impact the game and elevate. I think one of the things about it that you didn't even mention is our defense, and I think she's probably one of our better defenders, maybe our best defensive player. I think she's got a lot of passion. I think she's got a strong personality that I think can be really, really infectious in our locker room. I've really challenged her to be a connector in that locker room and bring people together. Offensively, she's very explosive. She'll be on everybody's scout as a driver, and she'll still have the ability to get around people. It's just what she does. And, undersized, but rebounds the ball extremely well. My big thing is for her to play consistently at the high level that she's capable of. And we just had a really good conversation yesterday, and one of the reasons we recruited her is when you've got a player in the portal, you go back and you look, how do they do against Power 5 schools? Can they play at this level? A little bit undersized. Man, that's when she's at her best, is on the big stage under the bright lights. And so, we're just talking about, man, can you imagine if you came out with that mindset every day and practiced at that level, which is uncommon. It's hard to do, but that's the challenge. And she said, okay, I just got to be vulnerable and allow myself to be a little uncomfortable, even though I'm not super comfortable yet. And I'm going to let it all hang out. And once it's out, it's not going back. So I guess we can expect a double-double from her pretty consistently moving forward.
Laniah, a lot of those baskets were through contact, whether it was on the drive or on the shot. What to you goes into not letting contact affect you, especially if it's super heavy? You had an and one later in that game, for example.
Well, I feel like it's what we do in practice. I feel like our team pushes each other a lot, and we're really aggressive. So I feel like in game, it's kind of like, it's kind of slight. Because we're real aggressive, and we just push each other. So I feel like it's easier to, finish through contact, I would say.
Any other questions?
Coach Avery, you played your first regular season game in a while. What does it mean for you just to see her back out in the court and getting more regular minutes?
Yeah, I think it's so important, and sometimes it can be hard in these rotations, but Avery and Angie, they need reps. Not playing for a whole year, it's just that's a lot of time off, and sometimes we forget that having a year off, it just the timing, being comfortable, the confidence, and so just trying to get her as many reps as we can. I think she's going to be a huge part of our team and what we're trying to get done. She's a really good defender. She's really worked a lot on her shot. And just getting her more comfortable out there, I think, is really important. But again, she's such a competitor and really has worked extremely hard to get back to where she's at. And I just think the more minutes we can get her to, allow her to feel more comfortable out there is going to be really important.
What stood out, Coach? Good evening. What stood out to you most on tape about Southern?
Yeah, so, this time of the year it's really hard because you just, we've got one game. It's not a big body of work. You can go back and look at last year, but like most teams, they, probably tweak some things and revamp some things on both sides of the ball. But, I think Southern's got a super athletic team. I think they play really hard. And we're not the only team that turns the ball over. Oklahoma's a top 10 team in the country, and I think they ended up with 18 to 20 turnovers. Don't tell these guys this because, I'm not okay with it, especially some of the turnovers that we had. But, I think that's part of their strength is their ability to get out in passing lanes and just be really disruptive. And I think we saw that tonight.
Coach, I felt like Ashton wasn't just scoring the ball in the first half, but throughout the entire game was extremely disruptive on defense and on the glass too. What did you like about her getting rebounds and also creating some turnovers as well?
Yeah, again, one of our hardest workers. I think, you know, when you get to be an upperclassman, you start to feel like that clock's ticking a little bit, and you just really want to make sure everything's right. And she's worked really, really hard in the off season, and I think she's really, you know, trying to step up for a leader for us. And you know, right now, I think her main focus is just trying to make sure we just continue to connect as a team on the court and off the court. And I think she's willing to take over any role that we need her to. And you know, I think that's one of the things that makes her really special. I think, you know, her ability to score the ball, obviously at an elite level, but the way that she can impact the game on the defensive end when she's locked in, I think can be really impactful for us. And then obviously a really, really good rebounder.
We'll take one or two more if you guys have.
Ashton, you scored 7 against Vermont, and then in the first quarter you had 9 points. What felt different about this game compared to last game?
I think just our offensive flow. I felt like we were really disrupted when we played Vermont, so I think collectively we played better as a whole offensively, just letting the game come to us, you know, getting through our flow actions, moving the ball. So I think it just, you know, came through the flow of our offense and just wasn't forced.
We'll take one more.
Ashton, you know, last time we got to talk to Robin was after the exhibition. She mentioned you're playing like an upperclassman, you're not now. You know, what kind of feels different for you this season?
Nothing. Nothing. I think it feels the same. I mean, obviously we have a different team, so just, you know, roles are changing, the dynamics changing, talent level is different. Like, I think just things outside of that, but nothing really.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
So happy.